This one's for you warriors out there. So, this may look familiar to some of you, and I want to share what I learned behind the scenes. And I will share this with you. I got a sneak preview. Aaron, during the Prep for Predicament, shared with us that the rules for this is to put it out as an offering and to hold it above your heart. So, elbows slightly bent. You could go as far out as this, slightly bent, but not any of this. So, as this is out, as Karma Crew, many of us did this in the back. And I'll share with you my experience in giving up and doing it the way everybody else thinks it's supposed to be done. So, how is this supposed to be done? You can hold it out like this, above your heart, extend it out. But is there anything wrong with this in resting this arm? Many of you might have said yes, because that's not the way it was demonstrated. How many times in your life, or how does that pertain in your life? How many times in your life have you done something because it was shown as an example one way and you interpreted it to be the only way that it could be done? The rules of this were to do it for 10 minutes above your heart, extend it out as an offering, slightly bent elbow. So, that one's getting a little bit tired. So let's leave it here because this is reaching the goal. Maybe not the way it was interpreted to you. So I have a goal that I've set for myself. And as I was in the back, and you guys did it for 20 minutes, and Aaron, there was no joke up there. Aaron's intent was to do for 10 minutes and then for 5 minutes, hoping some people would drop, and nobody dropped. So we extended out another 5 minutes. So I said to myself when I did this exercise in the back, I'm doing 20 minutes straight through because if they can do it, I can do it. And I'll tell you, at the 14-minute mark of doing this, these shoulders right here, right in here, just started to burn. And those of you who have friended me will see Nike runs pretty often. I am training for a marathon. And I started saying, well, I'm doing this in front of all Karma Crew, and they don't know. And that's my mind frick. And they're telling me, and I'm like, what are they going to say? All these guys did it for 10 minutes, or one person actually did it for 20 minutes back to back. And what are they going to think of me if I do it a different way? Even though I know, based on what Aaron said, you got to do whatever it takes to reach your goal. How people interpret that are different. So at some point, I think around the 14-minute mark, I started doing this and resting this arm. And Karma Crew in the room that weren't privy to the training of Aaron basically said to me, you're not doing it right. And I said, the rules are to hold it above the heart out as an offering. What's wrong with this? No, they said to do it with two hands. No, that wasn't in the rules. Well, he showed it with two hands. Yes, but that wasn't the rule. Here's the rule. And Karma Crew in the back started disagreeing with me. But luckily, I had my friend Zach there, which was in the same room, and he kind of laughed. He goes, no, Ryan's right, because he explained it this way. We will create things in our head that prevent us from reaching our goals. Why do we have to do it the tough way? So I'm going to tell you how this analogy goes into today's lesson because Marissa, and I'll call you out because this is only going to be posted in the Facebook page. She said, Warrior, don't do 11. Don't do 10 miles of running today. Do 11. And that all sounds fine and dandy, but I have a plan, and I'm going to execute that plan. Because 11 miles today would have went past my mental capacity because I was prepared for 10. It would have been past my physical capacity simply because I was prepared for 10 miles. Now, could I have done 11? Absolutely. I could have pushed and got pain and felt it and said, wow, I really went out there. Well, what happens to tomorrow's run when I'm a little bit more sore than I should have been? My goal is 26.2 miles, guys. The goal here was 10 minutes. But there are no rules of how I get done those 26.2 miles. If I do them in 15-minute miles, it's okay as long as I do them back to back and finish. If I run some and my body needs rest because my goal is to complete 26.2 miles and I walk a little, that's okay. But it's people's interpretation of how you do it and lessen your goal that distort it and ruin it for you. Because what if I have a certain goal, time goal that I want to reach, but the ultimate goal is to finish 26.2 miles simply because I've never done it before, even though I've now been training for nearly 4 years for this goal. But the problem was before is I listened to everybody else. I listened to myself. I told myself you could push yourself harder. And because I pushed myself harder in 2 previous attempts at training for this, I failed. I failed due to injury, due to stressed muscles, due to not resting properly, due to not eating properly, due to not taking care of my body because I thought when I pushed myself, that's what I was supposed to do. So how many times do you push yourself when it doesn't need to be pushed? How many times do you not give yourself credit for a 10-mile run because somebody said you should have done 11? How many times in life are you challenged by yourself and peers and don't eventually reach your ultimate goal? That is bullshit. I'll share with you a story I told with Aaron in college. I had a volleyball scholarship, and there was a day that we had to jump rope. And the last man standing out of nearly 20 of us on the team didn't have to run wind sprints that day. And this is where, as a volleyball player at 5'7", the shortest guy on the team by far, but probably one of the smartest players, not simply because I was smart, but because I had to be. Physically, I wasn't as gifted as other people were. So I always had to play smart. I always had to be consistent. I always had to play cerebral. And I played cerebral that day. How did I do that? I'm going to put this down now because I know I could do this all day long. And I think you guys know that I could do it all day long just so I could demonstrate this jump rope exercise. And I'm not going to do it any other way but to basically, you won't be able to see my feet. But I want you guys to get the concept. So we're jumping rope. And I don't want to offend anybody out there, but I'm doing it like a 5-year-old little girl. I'm doing it nice and slow. And I'm stepping 1 foot at a time, not 2 feet, not 2 feet. I'm just kind of hopping over it, nice and slow. But the rules were, if I jump rope longer than everybody else on the team, I didn't have to run wind sprints. And I didn't want to run wind sprints that day. I was exhausted. I was willing to jump rope very slowly that I could have done till now. And that was nearly 20 years ago. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. And as the guys around me started dropping off just because they couldn't sustain, there were 3 or 4 guys. And then the guys that had jumped off, they're like, Ryan's not doing it right. He's not jumping rope right. He said to jump rope, guys. I'm jumping rope. You're not doing it. You're doing it like a 5-year-old little girl. I got a goal. I don't want to run wind sprints. And then instead of the guys around me that were still hanging out saying, you know what? I'm going to out-jump him that way. They started getting their mind frick. Dude, you're not doing it right. Do it the right way. You're a bitch. Slow and steady. I got a goal. Slow and steady. You guys are running. I'm not running. If you guys keep acting like that, I'm getting in your heads. How many times does somebody get in your head with words? I wasn't going to do it. There was no way anybody was going to stop me from jumping rope this way. I don't care what they said. Their calves are burning. My calves are burning. Do it right. Coach, tell them to do it the right way. My goal on the court is to win, whatever it takes within the rules. That's what I said to coach. Whatever it takes within the rules, coach. Doing what I got to do to win. And I'll do it on the court for you, coach. Finally, the last guy standing threw his jump rope across the gym, pissed off, and coach says he wins. Everybody go run sprints. Guys, there's no right way or wrong way to reach your goals. Your goals are for you. Don't interpret the rules the way everybody else does. Young lady got up in the front of that class during Warrior Power, and she said, I've always been crazy. But now I realize there's a bunch of crazy people around here. And she said that Steve Jobs said it's the crazy ones who make a difference in this world. Doing the same thing that everybody else is doing isn't crazy. Listening to people who listen to people that do the same thing the same way all the time isn't crazy. Listen to yourself. Listen to what's right. Have clear paths towards what you want to do, and you will succeed. Who cares how you get to the finish line? It doesn't matter. Just get to the finish line. So many of you struggled through this process. Many of you did this the hard way for 10 minutes. But I ask you, could you have done it like this a lot easier? So I challenge all of you, when somebody's telling you you're not doing it the right way, but you're still going to reach your goal, as long as it's within the rules, whatever those rules may be, whatever challenges in life, it's within the law, with your business, whatever it is, as long as you get to your goal, who cares the form in which you get there? So I challenge you to think outside the box, do it your way, do it the right way, and whatever way you get done, make sure you reach that goal. This is Ryan. I'm so used to doing videos and saying from Justifier, Just Do It Coaching. Guys, this is for you warriors. If you want to go to Justifier, Just Do It.com and check me out. I also would love if you guys would like my Justifier, Just Do It page. But at the end of the day, this is for you warriors. I thought that analogy would be great. The fact that Marissa said something to me, as soon as I saw it, I laughed. Because nothing, and I know all of you will agree with me. I know she was just trying to push me. I know you meant no ill will. But do we ever? Do we ever want to discourage somebody? We're trying to encourage, but at times we encourage in a wrong way. Some people know their goals. Some people need to be pushed. Thank God I know my limits at this point. I know what I need to do to achieve my goal. Therefore, I do it. So check me out at Justifier, Just Do It. On Facebook, like my page. That would be amazing. I'm at like 70 something now. After this video, I'd love to see it way over 100, guys. So signing off. I hope you guys found this valuable. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing day.